Morning to all of you and welcome to this training for contestants and to get you all ready for next Friday. So this is not necessarily a training as such because most of you all already use Zoom. You'll have a fair idea how to use it. But my job today is to make sure that you all are ready as contestants to deliver your best. And that technology is not something that will come into your way. And to some extent that all of you all will have a same level playing field. That means you all know what is expected in terms of technology, in terms of how you need to set up your laptop, your Zoom, your position, your lighting. This is what I will be talking about. Obviously, the content preparation is with you and your mentors who you are working with. But I want to make sure that after the contest, some of you all don't say, oh, I didn't know I could stand. I thought I had to sit and then deliver. So this is the type of misconceptions I want to clarify, how you could effectively deliver so that all of you deliver the same level. Okay, because what will happen is if one contestant somehow has a better playing field in terms of light and this thing, and you were not aware about it, then perhaps the person might win not because the person is better than you, but he did better preparations. So I want all of you all obviously to open your videos, because the way I will be doing is I will be telling you, guys, you all are ready to go. This looks fine to me. This setup looks fine to me. And this is the best you can do. Maybe I could recommend something to you which you can do within the next 1 week in terms of investing something to give you that edge. Or I would not say to give you that edge, to be on the par with the rest. Okay. So what I will be doing is we have created a document that I will quickly run through. And then we can do the actual practicals test. So what I have done is I have created this document over a week ago to help contestants prepare themselves. And this was based on some of the mock contests we did at the district level and the learnings that we had from this mocks. And what we wanted to do is, what is it that a contestant must do to ensure the best performance as far as technology is concerned? And the first thing that, of course, you have to do is you have to get familiar with Zoom, because that's the platform you will be using to deliver your content, whether it's an international speech, whether it's a humorous speech, whether it's table topic or evaluation. You need to be familiar with Zoom. At the last minute on the contest date, you all shouldn't be struggling to say, how do I unmute myself? Can you hear me? Is my video on? If you ask this kind of questions once we enter the contest room, I can assure you, you will start getting marked down by the judges, because it will look like you are hesitating. And that hesitation will translate into your performance, because you are so concerned with the technology, you forget what you are supposed to say. Imagine that you have done a preparation for evaluation, you know everything is on your mind and you come prepared for it, and now you're struggling with getting your video turned on. Am I looking right? Can you hear me? And whatever you had written, you will forget it. So you have to become familiar as much as possible with Zoom, how you can manage the controls as a contestant you need. Muting yourself, unmuting yourself, testing your audio, testing your video. There are tools available within Zoom to make sure that before you step on the stage, before you switch on your video and the judges see you, they see a confident person, not somebody who's struggling with technology. And the way to do that is go to zoom.com if you have not already done that. Sign up for a free account. It's free. It doesn't take much time. And start creating meetings by yourself. Invite your friends, invite your Toastmaster friends, create small meetings, run them. As a free account, you'll be limited to only 40 minutes, but that's fine. You will, within that 40 minutes, learn all the things that are there, which will help you become more comfortable on the contest day. So on the contest day, you should be familiar with the Zoom technology. There are plenty of tutorials you could go through to understand how to set up your audio, how to set up your video. Try to understand them, be familiar with them, especially if you're using a laptop, because you could have multiple cameras, multiple audio devices. You should know how to use the right one. And this is our main important take-home message for contestants. As far as possible, log in and deliver your speech using a laptop. And there are advantages for doing that, because if you were to use a phone to deliver your speech, first of all, you might struggle to find out where is the timer. How do I know whether I'm within my time? But when you use a laptop, you get a bigger screen. So you can see yourself, or you can make the timer to be the main view, and you can see all the other video key players who are the backup timers. You'll be able to see them in one screen. And therefore, you'll be able to manage your time and not get disqualified on time. Very important. So as much as possible, all contestants, we are recommending them to use a laptop. Make sure whatever technology you're using to connect, whether it's a Wi-Fi router, whether it's your mobile hotspot. I'm actually currently using a mobile hotspot to deliver my training, and it seems to be fine. Whatever it is, make sure it is good. At a position yourself that you get a good signal strength. Don't fail your speech because of internet. And the rule books for online clearly mention the internet and the technology is the responsibility of the contestant. If it fails, it means you will be disqualified. So ensure that you have a right connection at the time that you have to deliver your speech. If the router is shared by your family and they are watching Netflix in the other room, you could ask them, please, for this period that I'm delivering my speech, can everything else be shut off? Nobody checks their Facebook for some time. You know, every little bit counts so that you get a clear connection. Your audio is not breaking, your video doesn't get frozen because somebody else was just maybe opening a video on their Facebook, a funny video, and then it impacted your speech. You could ask all your family members for your support on that day. As a contestant, you are expected to show up to your waist height. And I will demonstrate this now because I have a model here in the room who's my wife. And I will just temporarily stop the share and request Priscilla to stand up at a distance where I can see up to her waist height. And everyone, please check whether you can see her. I will spotlight her video for you all. Now, this is the sort of position which will allow you a couple of things. First, I will unmute her just also so I can communicate with her. Okay, can you say something, Priscilla?
Yes.
Okay. That might be too far for most people. Yeah, this little behind. Yep, yeah, this is it, up to waist height. So this is the position the judges are expecting to see. And this offers a couple of advantages. First of all, the body language can be used, okay? She can take one or two steps left or right, so you can still use stage movement. Correct? So that's what you have to do in terms of your visual for the judges. And the second thing you would notice is that the camera is almost at her eye level. That's why she must have been sitting down on pillows so that she could actually see when she's sitting down. So this is perfect for standing position. And the camera is straight. It is not looking up at the ceiling. It is looking into her face, which means she can we can look at her face to face. And the last thing I want to focus is when she is delivering her speech, she should not be looking at the screen down. Can you look at the screen down? Okay, because of this, the camera used here, maybe there is not much difference, but if you all are very close, come very close, Okay, now look at the screen.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Not at the camera, look at the screen. So this is not eye contact. When you look at the screen, you think that you are looking at the person who is there on the video, but actually you are not looking at the person. But now look up at the camera. And now you can see that she's looking at all of you, because that's eye contact. So when you're delivering your speech, when you want to make eye contact, you actually now have a great advantage, because you don't have to look left, in the center, or in the right. All you have to do is always look at the camera. Camera is your eye contact all the time. So you have an advantage now to manage the eye contact. Step little backwards, you have an ability to show your body language. You have a ability to use your stage movement. Okay, and you can hear. Can you say something?
Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing?
Okay, so everybody could hear it. Thank you very much. So now we have covered some important aspects of how, as a contestant, and we will see now what is it that she has done to the first thing is, as you could see, she has stepped back. She has stepped back 1 meter at least, or 1.5 meters, to get the waist height visible to the judges, which means, how would I hear you? If you step that much further, your laptop would not be able to clearly give me the audio clearly. So the recommendation for all of you all is to use a Bluetooth headset like this, or an AirPod, or any Bluetooth enabled headset connected to your laptop. This will allow us to hear the audio through the Bluetooth headset, which will give us better clarity and will allow you the freedom of movement from left to right, back, front. You are not encumbered with any wires. And if you don't use Bluetooth, and if you simply rely on the microphone of your laptop, I can assure you the judges will struggle to hear what you are saying. And if they can't hear what you are saying, the message will not go through. So those of you who don't have a Bluetooth headset, try to invest in it if possible, borrow from your friend if possible. But without this, I can assure you, and most importantly, test it, that you are comfortable with it. It is fully charged on that day, and you are ready to deliver your speech. Now, camera at eye level. So as you can see, the camera, if you want it at eye level, you will have to position your laptop much higher than your table. Okay, and that's why when Priscilla was standing right now, I had actually not this box. This is not my room, as you can see, but another. But this is the size of the box that was used for the height of the person. If the person is short, then you have to arrange the right height to place the laptop. So it is, just imagine the camera, which is somewhere here, should be, you go up to it, and if your eyes are at the same level as that, you know that it is the right height. Otherwise, find a bigger box or a smaller box. Okay, so that's how it will be. The question will be, when the rest of the event is going on, are you going to stand all the time? Well, you can keep the laptop down most of the time. Just before your speech it is ready, you place it up on the box and deliver it. And this is what you will get. If you place it at the height of the eye level, you will see that the camera is pointing straight at the eyes. It's easier to make eye contact, and I don't look at the ceiling. And more importantly, I don't look at inside your nose, because that's what happens if you keep the laptop right down and you speak. It looks like I'm looking inside your nose, which is what I would not want to do. I mean, no, it won't be flattering for you. It's not what I want, but it's what flattering for you. This is the most flattering way to approach the video camera. So again, as I said, this is now using AirPods. Bluetooth headset would be even better, because it will give you better quality. And then we'll talk about the light, because again, let's use a reference again. Are you still in the spotlight, I guess? So here we have a very bright window behind. And if we keep that open, and maybe we can demonstrate it to you, what would happen is the camera would then start focusing on the bright light, and now when she comes, she doesn't look as good. You see, stand there, yeah. You see, now already it's becoming like the camera is trying to compensate for the light which is behind the subject, and I cannot see her clearly, or even if I see, just moved little to the, yes, she will start becoming dark. Her face will start appearing dark. So how do you solve that problem? One way is to do the opposite way. That is, you place the laptop next to the window and you face into the light, which is the example which is shown. But in this case, what we have done is we have closed all the curtains so the outside lights don't disturb. Can you close the curtains? And now you have to ensure that there are enough bright lights in your room to light up your face. Okay, and that's it. There is also a small light I have placed in front of her face to light it better. You can just show it. Yeah. So this was placed in front of the subject to get better light. But again, you can play with whatever room lights you have. Make sure that they are bright enough to light up your face. So either use the light which is there in the room to your advantage, or use the light which is there in your window to your advantage, but don't use them to your disadvantage. Okay, if you keep something very bright behind you, then it will be not in your advantage. Correct. So now let's go back to our, so in this scenario, what we have done is the laptop is placed facing the window, so that when the subject is standing in front, the light from the window is hitting the face, giving you a look like this. Okay, or like this. This is the example actually. So here the light from the window has lighted up the subject very nicely. If the laptop was kept in some opposite position, then this subject would have appeared all dark, and then we would not be able to see the eye contact, will not be able to see the expressions correctly. And again, you all are all contestants. You all have worked hard for expressions, eye contact. So all those can be visible only if you have correct amount of light in your room. And that light hits your face correctly and not in an unflattering way. One good advantage as contestants you have is to use props, because you're in your own house. You don't have to worry about the 1 minute that you have to run to the stage and to set up the props, and then after 1 minute try to get the props back. You can use any kind of props into your speech. Okay, so if you're like giving any speech and you want to use props, keep them at the side within easy reach, and inform your contest chair what are the props you'll be using during your briefing, and you can now incorporate props into your speech much better than you would have been able to do in an online contest. So in reality, online contest now is giving you some advantages using of props, having eye contact almost all the time, right? Because you're looking at the camera like how I'm doing now, and you are able to converse even though you are not getting the feedback from the other side. But at least I know, as long as my mic is working, as long as my video is working, whoever is watching this session, they are looking at my face, they are looking into my eyes, and I can be as expressive as I want. No presentations, please, as far as possible. Keep your speech using props and your persona. Don't try to say, okay, I have a PowerPoint, I want to show something. I don't think that will make any sense, because you'll have to, it will not work in a contest environment. Presentations are fine when you are giving club meetings and you're delivering projects, but not for the contest. Okay, so that's the, in terms of what I expect, I have shown you a sort of a reference. And now what we can do is we can make sure how many of you all are able to create this